Hello, Agree YYC. We're about to start an awesome workout. I just wanted to give you a reminder, if you're ever feeling like anything is in pain or hurts, please modify. This workout is for you, so listen to your body. So we're gonna get started on 1 yellow spring, 2 if you need a little more support. We're starting in a plank to pike on the forearms. So forearms are going to go down onto the front platform. Your toes are gonna be popping up to that red line, just like Coach Genevieve here is going. We're piking straight up to the ceiling through the core. Lifting up right through the top, straight up to the ceiling. So you're gonna let your head drop down through the shoulders, just like Genevieve here is doing. Imagine if I had a tiny string and I'm lifting you straight up to the top. You're lifting straight through that core, through the belly. You're already almost halfway done. You've got this. Keep it slow. Look at that tempo. Follow her lead. Go nice and slow. The slower, the better. Beautiful. Now, if this is feeling any bit in the low back, I want you to shorten your range of motion. It doesn't have to be huge for this to be completely effective. You have 15 more seconds. We're heading into bear. Our toes are going to stay exactly where they're at. Our hands are going to the side rails of that front platform. You have 7 more seconds. Heading into bear. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so hands are going to those side rails. Your toes are staying right where they're at. Get yourself in that nice tabletop position. Look at Genevieve there. Remember, imagine my coffee on the middle of her back. You don't want to spill. So we're pulling in those knees directly underneath the hips and then straight back out again. We want to keep our wrist at least in line with the shoulders, maybe even a little more forward for an extra challenge. Keep it slow. If for any reason this is feeling like too much, you can definitely just hold a plank in this position, but you're already halfway through. You can do this. You've got halfway, 30 more seconds in this bear. We're gonna be dropping our hands down and knees for a cobra. Coming up, less than 30. Beautiful tempo. Remember, slow. Nice and slow the whole time. Ready? Tempo like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. Back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. In 5 seconds, we're heading into that cobra. Our knees are coming down in 2, 1. So our knees are going down in that red zone. Our hands are coming to the front platform. We're dipping down into that modified plank position just like you would in wheelbarrow, but now we're trying to drop our elbows to that front platform. So think about it like a tricep dip almost. If this is too much for you, you can go ahead and stay in that nice wheelbarrow position. So keeping the arms straight and shifting straight back, lowering the hands to those lower bars there. So keeping in that same plank position the whole time. I want that diagonal from the head all the way down to the knees the entire time. We're already halfway. Cobra or wheelbarrow will work just fine. Cobra is going to give you a little more of that tricep work along with the core. You have less than 20 seconds. We have 1 more move here before we're setting up into the legs. So 15 more. We're going to be plopping down onto our forearms for a forearm plank hold. We're going twice through, 20-second plank hold, 10-second saw. In 5 seconds, we're heading to the forearms for that plank hold. 3, 2, 1. So knees or toes. You can do this on your knees or toes. Toes will be a little more challenging. We're just holding a plank hold 20 seconds. Then we're going to saw for 10, twice through. You have 10 more in this plank hold. And then we're just going to shift a little back and a little forward through the lats for that saw. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Saw it back. Yes, so slow, slow controlled. Remember to squeeze through the glutes, protect your low back. Your elbows are going to be stacked over your shoulders, and then as you shift, they're going to send back. Less than 30. In 4 seconds, we're going to hold that plank. 1 more time. 2, 1. Hold your plank. 1 last time, and then we're going to saw 1 more round. Knees or toes, either will work. You just hold that plank. Squeeze the glutes. In 5, we saw 1 more round. 4, 3, 2, 1. Saw 1 last time. 10 seconds. You can do this. We're stepping that left foot forward for an elevator lunge. 1 to 2 yellow springs. The more yellow, the more support. In 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Left foot forward this time. Elevator lunge. The right foot stepping back. Think about that knee stacked right over your ankle. We're sending it back in that nice long lunge through the left leg. Stabilizing through the core as we rise. Make sure our hips aren't opening up to the logo wall. That's what they want to do. So really intentionally pull in that right hip to keep it in line with your left. Beautiful, Genevieve. Now go as slow as she's going. Super slow tempo. You can do this. So we're squaring up the front of the body. We're lunging through the back side of this left leg. So I really want you to intentionally think about shifting backwards through the hamstrings. As you rise back up, you're using the hamstrings, the quads, and the glutes. We're here for a little while, so sink into it and get comfortable. Great job, keeping super high on the back toe. I want you to really stick the weight into the front left leg the whole time. Yes, dipping nice and low through that lunge, just making sure your hips aren't swaying out to either side. That sassy hip, keep them nice and square right beneath you. We're halfway through this elevator lunge. You can do this. Starting our left leg block. So we're starting here. We're gonna do a few little variations, a little standing inner thighs, and then we're going heavy. So you can do this, less than 30. Keep rising up about 90% of the way. Make sure that knee is stacked over your ankle the whole time. It's very important to make sure it's not coming forward. Shift back. Yes, rising straight up. We're squeezing through that whole left leg. You have 20 seconds left. We're gonna send it back and just hold it for a long jump hold. 15 more seconds. We're gonna hold it back for 15. You have 10 more in this elevator. You can do this. Beautiful job, Coach Genevieve. So slow. In 3 seconds, we're gonna hold it back. 2, 1, hold that back. Long jump hold, 15 seconds. After this long jump hold for 15, we're gonna bring in that back knee for carriage kicks. You have 5 more seconds. In 4, we carriage kick. 3, 2, 1, bring in that back knee. Yes, so we're sitting in that isometric hold on that left side. We're pulling in super light through that right leg. You have 5 more seconds, and then we're gonna send that back leg straight and pulse through that left leg. In 3, 2, 1. So back leg straight. Now we pulse through that left side. Little pulses, 15 seconds. We have 1 more 15-second carriage kick, and then we're gonna rise back up to elevator. In 4, you're gonna carriage kick 1 more time. 3, 2, 1. Carriage kick 1 last round, 15 seconds. Sit into that isometric hold. Make sure that knee's over your ankle. Now we're just pulling in that back knee. Beautiful, right to the hip, and then back out again. We have 1 more set of elevator repeating. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Now rise up nice and slow into a regular elevator lunge. Yes, so good. Just 30 seconds here, you can do this. Repeating through this motion, your body already knows what it should be doing here. That muscle-mind connection has already happened. 10 more seconds. We're gonna pivot towards the logo wall for standing inner thighs. You have 5 seconds left, pivoting towards that logo wall in 3, 2, 1. All right, so both feet are gonna be facing neutral, that logo wall. You're gonna send the carriage out, keeping the weight between your legs even. So as you open through the well, shift your weight through the well. So as you pull back in through those inner thighs, you're pulling all the way back in through both, all the way through that low belly. Great job, super slow. We're not here very long. We're gonna zip this up. The best way to strong knees is strong inner thighs. So that's how we're gonna build your body. We're gonna keep you strong on the outside. Strong when you leave here. You have less than a minute to go. Can you go out a little further than you did last time? Try and challenge yourself. Keep everything in that neutral position. Toes, knees, hips, shoulders, everything facing forward. We're halfway through. Nice and slow. Inner thighs get me. I know this is a tough one, but you can do this. We're well over halfway. We're zipping it all the way up through both inner thighs together. We're gonna be changing to a heavy load after this. This is the last light load on the legs. You've got this, less than 30 to go. We're heading into a 1 red, 1 to 3 yellow. So the more yellow you have, the more, the harder it's going to be. You have 20 more seconds. We're gonna be going into a skater first, still facing logo wall, 1 red, 1 to 3 yellow. The more yellow, the more difficult. You have 10 seconds. We're gonna change that spring load. In 5, first skating on the left side, facing the logo wall. 3, 2, 1. So 1 red, 1 to 3 yellow. The more difficult. That left foot is going to be going on your front platform. That right foot is going to be tucked under your carriage strap on your carriage. I want you to sit your booty super low, like you're going to sit on that black pole behind you. And then you're going to keep those hips super still and just press out that right leg. You're pressing out through that whole outer thigh. You're also holding that isometric hold on that left side, so the hamstrings, the glutes, the quads, they're all working on that side as well. Stabilizing through the core, I want you to stay super still. Think about if I came behind you and dragged your hips back and I held them there. Your hips should stay there the entire time. Don't let the hips shift. Great job, Coach Genevieve. She looks so strong. Now go slow. Keep the tempo just like her. You can do it. We're halfway through. So we're starting this nice heavy block on the skating. We're gonna press out to standing outer thighs next. So we'll get ready and re-equal out and distribute our weight. You have less than 30 to go here. Can you sit an inch lower? Yes, you can. I love it. You can even hold that front black pole to sit back. I really want you to make sure your knees stacked over your ankle. I say it all the time. But if you do hold it, just hold it through the fingers. Be really light. We have 15 more seconds. We're gonna stand it up for standing outer thighs, pressing through the outer thighs this time. 15 more to go. Beautiful job. Slow. Keep the tempo nice and slow in that 4 count. In 3, standing outer thighs, 2, 1. All right, so we're gonna stand it up, redistribute the weight. You're gonna press out through both outer thighs equally here. So as you press out, your torso is gonna hinge forward. Think about sending your hips back and the torso forward, and then you'll really be able to isolate those outer thighs. Beautiful. Super slow. I know this is heavy. Really focus. Hinge the body forward. It's going to rise back up as you come back up. Great job. Again, everything in neutral position. Everything facing the logo wall. Your toes, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your head. Everything facing this way. Beautiful job. Look at how flexible. Can you go out an inch further? I know you can. Keep going. We're halfway. So good. So we're getting the entire outer thigh. That's also going to help protect your knees. So inner and outer thighs are both going to be helping to protect your knees here. Look at that. Beautiful standing outer thigh. You have less than 30 to go. We're going to bring it into about hip distance apart for some slow, heavy squats. Coming up next, less than 30. Great job. Isolate those outer thighs. Really think about pressing into those outer thighs, the outer glutes, the top of the booty. 15 more seconds. You can do this. Slow squats coming next. We're staying on that same spring load. Beautiful job. Make sure those toes are facing forward the whole time. In 5, we're going to bring those feet into hip width apart, shoulder width apart, apologize, for a slow squat in 3, 2, 1. So you're just going to send it straight back like you're going to sit in a chair. So send the booty back behind you, keeping that chest nice and proud. Squeeze up through the glutes as you rise. I want you to take 1 second and squeeze the glutes before you lower back down again. Beautiful job. Here's your challenge. Keep that carriage and platform the same distance apart you started. Don't let that carriage move. Keep it still. So because this is heavy, we're recruiting a little bit through the outer thighs as well, but we're definitely squatting through the glutes and the hamstrings right now, squeezing the glutes as you come back up, and even the quads as you rise. We're halfway through. Keep it slow. Again, knee stacked over the ankle. Check yourself in the mirror. Sink your booty back closer to the black poles or to the black top bar behind you to make sure your knees stacked over your ankle. I don't want you coming forward. Halfway through. We can do this. Slow squat it back. Check yourself in the mirror again. Chest high, booty back like you're sitting in that chair. Squeeze through the glutes as you rise back up. Squeeze through the hamstrings as you're pressing out of the squat at the bottom. You have less than 30 to go. We're going to sink it low at the bottom and pulse at the bottom for 15 seconds. And then we're going to hold it at the bottom for 15 seconds, twice through. You've got this. In 15, we're going to hold it low and pulse it low at the bottom of the squat. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get low. Squat it at the bottom. Little pulses. You've got this. 15 seconds here, followed by a 15-second hold at the bottom, twice through. Yes. We're just getting the heart rate going, changing the angle in 5 seconds. We're gonna hold it low, 3, 2, 1, just hold it, 15 seconds. We're gonna do one more round, you can do this. Just one more set of leg work before we move on. In 5, pulse it, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulse up, little pulse down. Yes, little up, little down. Keep it small, keep it low, keep it controlled. We're gonna hold it low one more time in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it low, 15 seconds. Mega donkey kick on that left side coming up next. The last leg move before we move on. You have 5 more seconds. Hold it here. Mega donkey kick on that left side in 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Last leg work for this set. So we're sticking the hands on either side of 11. That right knee is coming to the right side of that center white line, and your left heel is on your curvy bar behind you. I want you to think about pressing your knee and your toes out to the side of the room so they're parallel to the floor. I want them out to the side. I really want you squeezing through that glute, driving through the heel as you send it out and back in again. So Genevieve here, her shoulders are a little past her wrists to give you a little more arm work, some work into the upper body as we're pressing through the glute. This is definitely isolating the glute in the back of that hamstring right now. We're not here very long. We are on our last leg move for this left side before we move into obliques. So really think about it the whole time. I want your spine to be in neutral. So our hips are open up a little bit because our left foot is on that curvy bar, but your spine should still be able to line up through that center white line on your carriage. So really make sure you aren't sending yourself into a C position or curving out through the hips and then on the other way through the upper body. So really line up your spine and then drive through that heel to get through that glute. We're halfway through. If we want a little bit of a challenge, I'll tell you when the 30-second mark is, and we can make it a flying donkey kick if we're feeling feisty. 30 seconds left here, so if we want to lift that back knee up, you can. Option to do so, it is not required. Follow your body, listen to your body. You can even try 1 or 2 and then go back. Give it a shot, give yourself a challenge. So we're only here 15 more seconds. We're gonna drop that red. We're gonna be on 3 to 4 yellow. We're gonna grab our left black cable facing the logo wall for a kneeling torso twist. You have 5 more seconds. We're gonna drop that red. 3 to 4 yellow, the more difficult, and grab your left cable in 3, 2, 1. So get rid of the red, 3 to 4 yellow, and then your black strap that's closest to the logo wall. We're gonna face the logo wall. Knees are gonna line up around 6. Listen to your body. You can scoot closer to the front entrance if you need a little less tension, further back to the mirror if you need more. And just like Coach Genevieve here, she's taking that black cable, coming straight in front of her sternum. She's only going to the left side, only going to the mirror side, and then she's stopping when her hands are straight in front of her sternum. So I don't want you coming to the right at all. Stay to the left. You're pulling through that entire right oblique the whole time. So I really want you to think about tucking in your tailbone, squeezing through your glutes, because I want you to keep your hips facing the logo wall the whole time. The twist is in the upper body. From here down isn't moving anywhere. It's all facing the logo wall the entire time. Beautiful job. You see how the whole bottom half stays still. She's just twisting through the top side, pulling through that right oblique. Your left is helping you a little bit too because you've got to stabilize and stand up. You're pulling towards the mirror and then stopping in front of your sternum. We're halfway through already. You can do this. Squeeze through the glutes. Keep that body nice and tall. The straighter the arms, the more difficult it's going to be. A little slight bend, a full bend, whatever feels best to you. Again, remember to listen to your body. We have 15 more seconds here. We're going to drop down to 1 yellow to get ready for our next move, but first we're going to hop into a mermaid crunch. So we're going to drop down to 1 yellow, and facing that logo wall again, sitting on your left hip, we're getting the mermaid crunch for the right side in 4, 3, 2, 1. So dropping down to that 1 yellow, Genevieve is setting her left hip down onto the carriage. Her right foot is under the well strap and her left leg is tucked under her right leg. She's reaching straight up towards the ceiling and then lowering her body towards the carriage. Keeping that beautiful 45-degree angle to really keep the tension tight. This is something you have to intentionally do. I I know that it's hard, but this is how you get the results. This is how you feel the strength. Stopping at that 45, keeping the tension really tight into that right oblique the whole time. So make sure that your right leg is really straight, tucked under that well strap so you can have that leverage to really lean in and get into that space. You have 30 seconds, you're halfway already. Reach it straight up. I like to touch the side that I'm working out so I can feel how strong it's getting. Feel the strength that your body is giving you right now. Reach straight up towards the ceiling. Get through this, 20 more seconds. We have one more oblique move before we send back into the right leg. We're heading into a teaser in 15 seconds. That right leg is going to be crossed over your left and your hands are coming to the top bars in that front platform. You have 6 more seconds here in this mermaid crunch. You can do anything for 6 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, we head to teaser for that front. Wow, your springs are already set to 1. So the right foot is crossed over the left. If you need a little more support, you can add a second yellow spring. That will also be handy for the next set of leg work too. So right foot is crossed over left. I want you to make sure that our shoulders are in line with our wrists the whole time. As we send it out, we're getting in that nice diagonal, a nice high plank. So see how Genevieve's head lines up with her hips, lines up with her feet. She's not letting her hips dip low. She's coming straight back up again. Almost think about piking through those heels and pulling in through that right side. Now, shift the shoulder blades down the spine, roll in those elbows. Let's get your shoulders away from the ears. Make sure we're not super tight in that upper body. By rolling in those elbows and shifting down the shoulder blades, we're kind of going to recruit into the triceps and the lats a little bit. So we're getting a little bit of that upper body. We have less than 30 seconds to go. We're going to be ready to step forward that right foot for elevator lunge. So 1 to 2 yellow, the 2 will be a little more supportive. Get ready for that right foot. You have 15 more seconds in that teaser. Pull through that right oblique the whole time. Feel the length when you send out, and then really crunch in and drive through to pull that carriage ahead. Now keep a little space between your carriage and platform the whole time. Don't let your carriage touch your platform. It'll give it a little more tension. In 5 seconds, we're gonna step that right foot forward. 1 to 2 yellow springs for that elevator lunge on your right. In 3, 2, 1. Let's get the right leg. We're almost done. Halfway through, right foot forward, left foot back. Keep it high on that left toe. Again, knee stacked right over the ankle the whole time. Think about shifting backwards, lighting up the hamstrings and the glutes, pulling through the quad as you rise. You're only rising up about 90% of the way. And remember, the left hip wants to come out to elbow drive, so pull it back in. Get it in line with the right hip the whole time. So solid. Think about planting that right foot down, driving through your heel on that right leg to really light up the glutes and the hamstring as you rise. Super slow. She's not letting herself get in that sassy hip, so keep it nice and strong beneath you. Listen to your body. I want you to try and challenge yourself and shift back a little bit further than you could before. But again, listen to your body. Form is the most important part, so if you feel like you're stepping out of form, stay where you're at and listen and watch that range. So again, if we're feeling this at all in our hip flexor, we can do a slight hinge if that feels better. I just want you to really try and isolate the back side of this right leg. So we're really intentionally trying to light up the hamstrings and the glutes the most. Obviously, you'll have other muscles helping you out, but that's where we really want you to feel it. So keep it super heavy in the right leg, really light in that back left leg. That's why you're up on your toe. Keep it light. You have less than 30 seconds. We're going to head into that little variation with the long jump hold and the carriage kick. So first, we'll head into a 15-second long jump hold. You can throw your arms behind you and lift up the little arm work behind you as well. You have 20 seconds here, and we're going to send it back into that hold for 15 seconds. So we have 4 little variations, 15 seconds apiece. You can do this, and then we're going to finish out this elevator. In 10 seconds, we're going to send it back for that 15-second hold. We're just going to hold it back, and we can send our arms behind us and lift and raise. In 3, 2, 1, 15 seconds. You got this, Genevieve. And then we're going to bring in that back knee. Carriage kicks are coming up next. In 10 seconds, we're going to bring the back knee in, keeping that isometric hold on that right side. In 4, 3, 2, 1. So bending that back knee, she's keeping that nice, still isometric hold on the right side, and she's just bringing that knee into right underneath her hip, and then straight back out again. So again, keep that toe super high behind you. Really light still. In 3 seconds, we're gonna send that back leg straight and pulse through the front leg. In 2, 1, little pulse through that right side. 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Yes, 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Nice and slow. In 4 seconds, we're gonna do 1 more round of carriage kicks and we'll be done with this set. In 3, 2, 1, 1 more round of carriage kicks. So keeping the isometric hold again on that right side. We're pulling in that left knee to right underneath the hip and straight out again. Now we're just gonna rise up to a nice slow elevator. One more time in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds for this elevator. We'll get a little more movement back into that right leg. And you can do this for 30 more seconds. Again, your muscle-mind connection has already happened. Your body already knows its form. It should be an even more efficient space for you now because it's already been done. You have 15 more seconds here. We're gonna pivot towards elbow drive for those standing inner thighs in 8 seconds. You can do this. So we're gonna turn towards elbow drive for standing inner thighs in 3, 2, 1. All right, so she's got her feet nice and neutral, everything facing the elbow drive. So toes, knees, hips, shoulders, head, everything facing the same way. So she's letting out the weight equally in between the wells. So she's shifting her weight out as the carriage is being open. She's squeezing through both inner thighs equally all the way through. Again, keep a little tension by leaving the carriage and the platform not allowed to touch. Leave about 1 inch before you send back out again. Try to challenge yourself here, send it a little bit further than you did before, but listen to your body. We're zipping all the way up through the low belly. You can feel that those inner thighs work in the chain with your core. All the way up through that low belly is where you're feeling this because your body works together in this amazing chain of muscles. So zip it all the way up. Reminder, like I said, this is the best way to strong knees is strong inner thighs. So keeping those muscles nice and strong is gonna help you all the time. Nobody needs bad knees, right? You have 30 more seconds to go. Keep it slow. Go as slow as Genevieve. Think about the tempo here. Count yourself nice and slow. 4 count. You've got this. We have 20 seconds here. We're gonna go back into that heavy load next. 1 red, 1 to 3 yellow. The more yellow, the more challenging it's gonna be. Skating is coming up first. So your right foot is gonna be on the carriage. Your right foot's gonna be on the platform, your left foot's gonna be on the carriage, and we're facing elbow drive. In 5, 4, spring change. In 3, 2, 1. So 1 red, 1 to 3 yellow. The more yellow, the more difficult. Facing elbow drive, that right foot is on your front platform, the left foot is tucked under the strap on your carriage. Genevieve is sitting low back behind her like she's sitting in a chair and pressing out through that left outer thigh. So we're staying nice and neutral. When we sit back, our hips stay right there. And then we're just pressing through that left side out. And as you can see, like I said, suggesting it, I like to use the front top bar to send my booty back further. So just be light on it, just like Genevieve. She's got a couple of fingers on it. Be light, so you're not putting any of the work into that bar instead of your body. Remember why you showed up today. You've got to challenge yourself to get the results, right? Sink low, make sure your knees stacked over your ankle, look in the mirror, check back. If it's not, scoot your booty back. I don't want your knees coming forward, I want them to be shifted backwards. We're halfway through. We just have a couple more moves here for the legs. We've just got to get through the other side of obliques and some arms and we're done. We're way over halfway, you've got this. Less than 30 to go. Yes, we're doing it. Yes, remember to breathe. I know we've probably had a couple of weeks off, so make sure to just listen to your body and remember to breathe. When I get really tense, I tend to stop breathing, so make sure you do a nice big inhale, a nice big exhale. We have 15 more seconds. We're gonna stand up nice and straight to redistribute the weight for standing outer thighs. Remember, the torso is gonna hinge forward as we press out through those outer thighs. You have 6 seconds left here. Standing outer thighs coming up next in 3, 2, 1, shake it out, redistribute that weight. So just like standing inner thighs, I want you to really center your weight in the well, so you're pressing out equally through both outer thighs. We're hinging that torso forward as we send out, and then as we rise back up, our torso is gonna naturally rise back up with us too. So she's really sending it out. What you're gonna do is you're basically hinging the torso forward so your hips kind of come back behind you to really isolate those outer thighs. All the way through the outer glutes. You're pulling all the way through the whole outer leg here. You have less than a minute to go. You have a minute to go, not less than. Ish, you know? So everything facing neutral. Remember, I don't want your knees coming out to the side. I want everything facing forward. So I want your toes pointing forward, your knees, your chest, your hips, everything straight towards elbow drive. Keep it all parallel. We're halfway through. Yes, so slow and controlled. Remember, the slower you go, the less you have to do of each one, right? Keep it slow. Press it out. Now I want you to make sure your feet are nice and flat. We tend to kind of roll up our feet and press out through the outer feet. Press your feet down. I want your feet nice and flat. It's really going to help ground you to really press through the outer thighs, which is where I want you isolating this and really feeling it. You have 15 more seconds here. We're going to bring that carriage and platform into about shoulder width apart for those nice, slow, heavy squats. You have 10 more seconds here, about shoulder width apart, and we're going to send it back nice and slow in 3, 2, 1. Great job. We've got this. Just a couple more left. This and one more round. So Genevieve's sinking her butt straight back like she's going to sit on the top bar behind her. Keeping those knees stacked right over the ankle the whole time. That chest nice and tall like she's sitting in a chair. We're stabilizing through the core the whole time. As you rise up, I want you to take 1 second to really squeeze through the glute as you rise back up. I really want you to think about rising up through the hamstring and the glutes. And then lowering back with the same. I really want you to try and mostly isolate it through the back. Obviously your quads are helping you, but really feel it in the back side. So squeezing all the way up. Now remember the challenge. Keep that carriage and platform still. Don't let anything move. I want that space to stay exactly where you started. We're halfway through. We have one little variation. We're going to sit low and pulse at the bottom and then hold it at the bottom twice through. Mega donkey kick. That's all we have left. So we're going to sit low after this slow squat and pulse down through the bottom. At the bottom of your squat, we're going to pulse 1 inch up, 1 inch down. You have 20 more seconds here before we send through that variation. It's 15 seconds each, twice through. We have 20 seconds. Beautiful job. Now make sure your knees aren't coming in. Press those knees out to the side. Think about sending your knees out. I want your knees lining up by your second to big toe. That's where they should be lined up. I want your knees, don't let them come in. We don't want to get any weird knee issues happening, right? In 10 seconds, we're going to sit down low and hold it and pulse. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse it out. 15 seconds. Hold it low and up an inch, down an inch. Super slow. Yes, up an inch, down an inch. You've got this. We're going to just hold it low for 15 seconds in 5. In 2, 1. Hold it low. 15. We're going to do one more round. You have 10 seconds, and we're going to pulse it in 5, 4, 3. Little pulse. 2, 1. Pulse it up and down. Yes, little inches. One more hold after this. You have 10 more seconds. We're going to hold it low one more time for 15. You have 5, 4. Just hold it. 3, 2, 1. Hold it low. 15 seconds. You can do this. One more set of leg work. We need to do that mega donkey kick on the right side in 10 seconds. We're almost done. Then we'll be done with legs. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mega donkey kick on the right side. So our hands are going to either side of 11. Our left knee is going to that left side of the center white line, and our right heel is going to that curvy bar. So again, I want you to think about flaring your toes and your knees out to the side of the room, almost like the dog in the fire hydrant, right? So keeping it straight out to the side is going to really help to isolate through the glutes and the hamstrings, but really through the glutes. Hamstrings secondarily working, but those glutes are really firing up. Driving through the heel is really going to help do that too. So I really want you to make sure your heel is what's pressing through on that top, on that curvy bar. So strong. Again, remember, line your spine up through that white center line. I want everything to be in that nice neutral spine position. Our hip is opening a little bit, but you still should be nice and lined up through that center. Don't let yourself be in a little S curve or anything like that. Keep it strong. Keep it centered. We're pressing through that right side, lighting up those right glutes. We're halfway through. I'm gonna tell you when there's 30 seconds left, so if you feel like the challenge, you can fly through this mega donkey kick for the last 30 seconds. So you'll just press through the toes, through that back pocket, and lift the knee up. If you wanna do flying, we have 30 seconds left, so if you feel like flying, do it. Again, if you wanna try maybe 1 or 2, and then put the knee back down and finish off the rest, do that. Try and challenge yourself. Maybe do 1, see how it feels. Either way, they both work and they're both gonna effectively burn this glute, right? We have 15 more seconds. We're gonna drop that red and go back to 3 to 4 yellow for that kneeling torso twist facing elbow drive. So grabbing your right black cable in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're getting rid of that red. 3 to 4 yellow, the more difficult. We're now grabbing the black cable that's closest to elbow drive, and we're gonna face elbow drive. So Genevieve here is lining up right near 6, squaring up that body. She's starting with her hands straight in front of her at the sternum, and then only going to the right side towards the mirror wall. And then she's stopping when her arms come straight to the sternum again. So you're only going to the right side this time. I don't want your arms going anywhere towards the left side of the room. I don't want them coming anywhere towards the entrance of the building. Straight in front of your sternum and to your right towards the mirror wall. That's it. So you're pulling through that left oblique this time. I want you to think about tucking your tailbone under, squeezing through your glutes to really protect the low back, and to ensure that the bottom half of your body is staying forward the whole time. It's towards elbow drive the whole time. The only thing is twisting is up here. Everything else is still. So the straighter the arms, the more difficult it is. You can do a partial bend, a little something in between. I try and keep it straight. I usually bend a little bit when I get to the side. Just listen to your body. Try and challenge yourself, but really listen to yourself too. So 20 more seconds. We're gonna drop down to that 1 yellow spring for a mermaid crunch facing elbow drive. We have 2 more moves in obliques, and we just gotta finish our arms, and then we are done. In 10 seconds, get rid of that black cable, drop down to 1 yellow spring for a mermaid crunch facing elbow drive in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're getting there, we're almost done. So that right hip is gonna be sitting on the edge of your carriage. Your left leg is gonna be straight tucked under your well strap. Your right knee, or your right foot is gonna be tucked under your left leg. So Genevieve is keeping it super tight through those legs so she can really lower her body down, reaching straight up towards the ceiling as she rises, staying in that 45-degree angle the entire time to really keep the tension tight on that left side. And I like to do what she's doing there. I like to hold on to my obliques so I can really feel the work. It makes me feel strong. It reminds me why I'm here. Hopefully it'll remind you why you showed up today too, right? 45 seconds left. Reach it straight up to the ceiling. We have 1 more set in the obliques, and then we're going to arms. So we have that teaser left after this, and that's it in the obliques. So we have 30 more seconds through this mermaid crunch. Keeping that 45 degree nice and tight, and then reaching straight up towards the ceiling. You're pulling through the whole left side of your body. Keeping that left leg nice and straight while tucking the right knee underneath is really gonna help keep you have some leverage, and you're not putting it into your hip flexor that way too. So you have 15 more seconds. We're gonna head back and get the left foot crossed over right for teaser on your left side before we head into our arms, which is the last set of the day. You can do this. We're almost done here. In 5 seconds, we're gonna head up to the front, put our hands on those top bars, left foot cross over right for teaser in 3, 2, 1. Yes, girl. I know, we're probably all dying. I'm afraid to get on the machine for the first time, that's for sure. So left foot's crossed over right this time. She's letting herself get into that beautiful diagonal from the head all the way down to the toes, and then pulling through the whole left side of the body this time to really pull back in. Same thing with the arms. Roll those elbows in, shift those shoulder blades down into your back pockets, help recruit some of the upper body while we're here. And you see how her shoulders are a little further back from her wrists? That's exactly where they should be. That helps really light up the core like we want it to be. You're halfway through. We're gonna add 2 to 3 yellows, so you're gonna be on 3 to 4 yellow total for some arm work. We're gonna get those black cables one more time. Less than 30 seconds, we're gonna head into sexy back. So we need to have 3 to 4 yellow, the more difficult. And we'll cross those black cables for a sexy back coming up in 15 more seconds. Pulling through that whole left oblique, the whole left core, the whole left side, just pulling through. Beautiful. In 6 seconds, 3 to 4 yellow springs facing the front entrance. We're grabbing those black cables and crossing them in our hands for sexy back in 3, 2, 1. We're almost done. 2 to 3 more yellow added. So you want 3 to 4 yellow total. The more yellow, the more difficult. She's gonna cross those black cables in her hand. She's on her knees. She's hinging forward through the hips. Get those elbows nice and high. And I want you to keep those elbows glued to the side. So I really want to make sure you're not coming out. I want you to glue them in here. Keep it narrow. And then pull back through the tricep. So this is really gonna light up the triceps here. It's a hard space to really light up this way. So really think about that isolated tricep. Hinging forward is gonna really help put some of the weight into it. If we need a little less tension, scoot your knees closer to the front of the door, closer to the front door. If you want a little more tension and make it a little more difficult, scoot your knees further to the mirror wall. So we're halfway through already. See how her elbows just stay right where they're at. You pretty much glue them where you want them to be and then don't move them from the side of your body. You're hinging through the elbow, lighting up those triceps. Less than 20 seconds. And since you're hinging, you're still stabilizing through the core and your glutes, right? 15 more. We're gonna keep those cables crossed. We're gonna stand up onto our knees, so nice and tall in the body instead of that hinge for a newspaper. Coming up next, you have 7 more seconds here. Keep those cables crossed, and we're just gonna unhinge the hips and come up onto the knees, nice and straight. In 3, 2, 1. So keeping those cables crossed, we're now gluing our elbows to the side of our body, and we're opening up that newspaper. So this is lighting up the back side of those shoulders here. Really pressing through the back side of that arm. So keeping those elbows glued to your rib cage the whole time. I don't want anything lifting up. Keep them nice and close to the body. And open up that newspaper. We're almost halfway through already. We just have a couple more arm moves, and then we're done here. We have like 3 more minutes left of class. 30 seconds, you're halfway through this newspaper already. Next round, we're uncrossing the cables for some nice big arm circles, really working through the shoulders and the lats. Coming up next, you have less than 20. You're gonna uncross those cables for the arm circles coming up. 15 more seconds here. Beautiful, Genevieve. Now go slow, remember? Keep the tension slow. So controlled. Time under tension is what makes this workout amazing and effective. In 5 seconds, we're uncrossing those cables for arm circles. In 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're sinking in nice and big into those circles. We're sending it out wide. Keep it controlled. In this move, you have to squeeze through your glutes and your core to stabilize the whole body. We know we'll flop over either front or back if we're not squeezing on one of those. So make sure you're stabilizing through the entire center of your body while you're nice and controlled through the arms. Look at how slow we're going. This is perfect. So controlled, so slow. So the last 2 minutes of class, we're gonna need the red cable. We're getting into a 1-arm row on the right side first. So you're gonna eyeball that red cable, and we're gonna grab that next for the last 2 minutes. You're gonna do 1 minute for the right arm and 1 minute for the left arm. That 1-arm row can be done on 1 red or 4 to 5 yellow. So listen to your body. Try the red, see if you can do it. If not, drop back to that 4 to 5 yellow. You have 10 more seconds in this arm circle, and we're going into the right side 1-arm row. So grab that red cable that's closest to elbow drive in 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so either 1 red or 4 to 5 yellow. That red cable is going into your right hand. So you're pulling back through the cable, lining up the body here. So your left hand is going to the left side of 11. Your knees are gonna be on either side of 6, probably a little further down, but either side of that white line. She's rowing through, so you're gonna let your arm go straight and then row straight back. So keeping your arm narrow again, almost like you're gonna glue it to your rib cage again as you pull back. If you need more tension, you can scoot your knees back towards the mirror wall. If you want a little less tension, you can scoot your knees a little closer to us too, closer to the front. So she's pulling through that right side. This is lighting up the right lat. I like doing isolated moves because it really helps you even things out. My left side is way weaker than my right. This is gonna help it get to the right space. So we have 1 minute here and 1 minute on the other side. That is it. That is the rest of class. So you're 30 seconds in here. You have 30 seconds to go on this 1-arm row, and we're just gonna switch sides. You're gonna drop that right red cable, grab the left red cable, and row to the other side. The last 30 seconds here, if you wanna lift up that opposite leg, so lift up the left leg, for some core stability, a little extra challenge through the core, you can do that. Maybe try it for a couple seconds and throw the knee back down. Just try it out. 15 more to go, and we're just gonna switch sides. We're gonna lower that knee, go grab the other left side cable, the one closest to the logo wall, and square it up again. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Last minute of class, just make it even. We gotta get that left side. She's grabbing that red cable, pulling back because it's super heavy at the front there, and then lining her body up on that white center line. That right hand is going to the right side of 11, and then she's pulling through and rowing through the left lat. So it's isolating through the left lat. If we want a little more tension, we can scoot our knees further away from the front. And if we want a little less tension, we can scoot a little closer to the front door. We have 45 seconds left of class. We're almost done here. Less than 30. In that 30 seconds, I'm gonna challenge you to lift the opposite leg. So we're rowing through the left. I'm gonna challenge you to lift that right side right now. If you lift that right leg up, we're stabilizing through the core a little more, just a little more of a core challenge. Maybe try it for a few seconds, like I said, and then put it back down. See what your body can do. Really squeezing through the whole time. We're isolating that lat, pulling through 15 more seconds of class. We've got this. You can do anything for 15. Yes, Coach Genevieve, she's doing it. I know we're sweaty. I know we showed up today, and be so proud. You have 6 seconds left of class. In 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Oh yes, all right, so we're gonna do a little quick stretch through the legs. So we're gonna put our knee down at the red line, drop yourself down to 1 yellow. Yes, that would be very hard on the rest. Throw the right knee forward, and we're just gonna hinge forward through the mirror, towards the mirror to really get that hip flexor stretching through the front. Take some nice deep breaths. Yes, drop those shoulders away from the ears. And then when you're ready, I want you to shift your hips back and hinge forward, straightening out that front leg, really getting the hamstrings. Again, keep breathing. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. We can turn this into a pigeon here, stretching out that hip, pressing through that front platform. You're gonna bring your knee up and hinge it to where your feet are facing towards elbow drive as much as you can, stretching through the hip there. And then when we're ready, we'll switch sides. That left foot's gonna come forward, the right knee is gonna be down. We'll pull through and stretch out the hip flexor on the right side. And remember, when you're ready to breathe, keep breathing. When you're ready, we're gonna shift the hips back, straightening through that hamstring on the left side. So really reaching back through the back side of that leg. Yes. And then pigeon when we're ready, twisting that knee in, hinging forward. Keep your hips nice and in line with each other. So make sure your hip isn't opening up. Really flatten it down to that platform. And then we're gonna have you sit down here on this carriage. I'll just give you a really quick little arm stretch. Remember, take your time when you're done here. Stretch it out even more. Bring that right arm over across the front of your body. So take your time to stretch. Now, I also want to remind you when you're done stretching, please make sure to replace all of your bungee straps. Hang back up your black straps. Put the red straps away. Drop your machine down to 1 yellow spring. Line up your pole and wipe down the machine, and then remember to spray it. So spray everything. Don't wipe it down. Just let it dry. Thanks again. I hope to see you soon. I hope you had an awesome workout. Thanks, Coach Genevieve. She killed it. Have an awesome day. Bye.